Hi, guys. This is Kay again. It's now Thursday. It's January 28th. And this week we are exploring some different types of books that are different genres. And this week we have been reading a couple of examples of fables. And I've got another fable that I'm going to share with you in just a few minutes. But first, I'm going to review with you just a little bit about what a fable is. Yesterday, we talked a little bit about that, and I showed you a chart that was made to kind of help your memory a little bit. A fable usually happens outside. Not all the time, but many times it does. The setting is somewhere outside. It's generally a very short story, and the characters are animals. Again, most of the time, but not all of the time. The animals, if they're the characters, they talk, they act like humans. They have some kind of problem usually. And the fable ends with what we call the moral of the story, which is the lesson to be learned from it. So as we read each example, each fable, we have to kind of think and kind of make what we call an inference about what the moral or lesson is. It doesn't usually come right out and tell us what that is. We have to put all of our thoughts and all of our knowledge and thinking about the story to come up with our own ideas about what the author wants us to learn from it. So it ends with that lesson or moral. And again, most fables were written a long, long time ago, and they were used to help teach children about ways of the world and just to kind of give them some lessons about how things work. So today I have for you a story. You probably have heard of it. It's called The Tortoise and the Hare. A tortoise is kind of like a great big turtle, huge turtle. And then a hare is another word, another name for a rabbit. So we've got two animals right away that we know are going to be in our fable. Let's listen, and then we'll kind of think about what the moral or lesson of this story could possibly be. And again, you're going to have to make that inference. You're going to have to kind of put it all together and think for yourself what the moral might be. Once upon a time, there was a tortoise and a hare. Tortoise was friendly and quiet. He did everything slowly. Hare was flashy and rude. He did everything quickly. Hare liked to tease Tortoise about being so slow. When Tortoise ate breakfast, Hare said, "By the time you finish your last bite, it will be dinner time." When Tortoise worked in his garden, Hare said, "By the time you pick those spring flowers, it will be winter." One afternoon, Hare followed Tortoise to the store. Hare teased him on the way. "By the time you get there, the store will be closed," he said. "You're so slow, I could beat you at a race, hopping backwards on one paw." "But I could never beat you, Hare," said Tortoise. "Yes, you could," said Tortoise's friends. "All you need is a little help." "Then you will race me, Tortoise?" asked Hare. Tortoise pulled his head into his shell. "I don't want to," he said. "You've got to," said his friends. "You've put up with that nasty Hare long enough. We think you can win." Tortoise didn't want to disappoint his friends, so he finally agreed to race against Hare. Tortoise only had 2.5 weeks to get in shape before the big race. Rooster helped him out at the gym. Raccoon cooked him healthy meals. Frog went jogging with him every morning. By the day of the race, Tortoise was ready. Animals from all over the county came to watch the tortoise and the hare. Rooster read aloud the rules and described the course. "Attention, everyone. The race will begin when I sound this gong. The 6-mile course is marked by red flags. The first one to reach the finish line wins. Runners, take your mark. Get set, go!" Raccoon sounded the gong. Hare bolted out of sight before Tortoise had taken his first step. The crowd roared and cheered as Tortoise inched forward. Hare was so far ahead that he decided to stop at Bear's house for something cool to drink. Hare rested and sipped lemonade. Bear noticed something moving outside the window. Hare! There goes Tortoise! What? Yelled Hare, running out the door. Hare passed Tortoise for the second time. Then he decided to stop at Mouse's house for a snack. As Hare munched on crackers and cheese, Mouse yelled, "Is that Tortoise I see out the window?" "I'm not worried about that slowpoke," said Hare. "I've passed him twice already." Then he finished his snack and hopped out the door. Hare passed Tortoise for a third time. Now he was far ahead. He saw a pond and decided to stop and rest. The snacks had made him sleepy. Hare was so sure that he would win, he took a nap in the soft grass. As he closed his eyes, he dreamed of victory. Suddenly, Hare woke up because the crowd was cheering. "Yay, Tortoise!" the crowd roared. Tortoise was 2 steps away from the finish line. "Slow down, you bow-legged reptile!" screamed Hare as he tried to catch up. But it was too late. Tortoise crossed the line just before the tornado of dust and fur that was Hare flew by. Tortoise had won the race. Hare couldn't believe it. That measly shell on legs had beaten him. Tortoise smiled as his friends carried him on their shoulders. He had learned an important lesson. Hard work and perseverance bring reward. And that is the end of the story. And, we talked about how a lot of times you had to infer the moral or the lesson of the story. In this particular book, if you notice at the bottom, the lesson was stated right there at the end, but that's not always the case. So, but think about what happened there. Tortoise worked very hard, and he was dedicated, and he persevered, which means he didn't give up. Whereas Hare was kind of bragging and thought that he was going to win no matter what. And so it was the tortoise who prevailed, who worked very hard, and then he was the winner. So hard work pays off. And that's the moral of today's fable. Tomorrow, Friday, we will be here again for our last read aloud of the week. We'll pick another fable, and I'll see you then.